Welcome back to Crawl Space Encounters. Here we got another one. We are out in the country. Way out here in the country. So we got ourselves another one here. We're going to take a dive. It's actually a beautiful day. Uh, you can't ask for more, man. Look at this. Sun shining, clear skies, but it ain't going to be like this too long. We got some rain coming here this week. But I want to thank you guys for joining me again. For those that are returning, thank you. For those that are new to the program, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you like what you see. Anyway, I'm going to take a dive in this crawl space and see what we find. I'll see you there. All right, well, let's get right into this one. I am doing a voiceover because this crawl space has got some serious issues I needed to show you guys. Over here to the left, you see a bunch of plumbing. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. That's pretty awesome. I do crawl space inspections. And I just like to give you a brief view of what's going on in here. But this is pretty crazy stuff I usually see in crawl spaces. I live in South Carolina. But so I'm just trying to find my route. I get into these places. I just want to take a look and see, for one, if there's any wild animals. Definitely want to keep away from those. I just kind of find the strategy of which way I want to crawl first. Obviously, I'm going to hang a left here. This is actually pretty nasty, man. It's been a long time since I've seen something like this. Some moisture issues here and there. A lot of places have, this is an older house. So this place has had a lot of different trades come in and do a bunch of work, mainly plumbing. You see plumbing body parts all over the place. Somebody used some great stuff to at least foam up that hole. I'm okay with that. That's pretty cool. Well, there's the can. But it's hard to do a voiceover sometimes because this video actually I did today. But this is awesome. Check this out. I love the at least they put a vapor barrier down here, even though we got trash from a lot of the work. At least they have a nice, decent vapor barrier. They've tried to do some corrective measures with the moisture, but it just wasn't enough. You see those two trunk lines back there? That's the front of the house. No airflow from those vents or part of the front of the house is actually coming into the crawl space through that area. So now we're limited, and got a little bit of water coming in. So where you saw the trunk lines was actually the front of the house, which is actually the top of the hill. Not much of a slope, but it was definitely a slope. I see a well and a pump down there. We'll get to that here in a minute. Somebody has been trying to climb over this. I don't know. This isn't too bad of a climb. You have to have been a big guy to have crushed that pipe. Look at all the room you had. And somebody crushed the pipe anyway. This is old mill lumber here. This is lumber been around for a long time. You can see the bark. The bark is still on some of the pieces, which is pretty cool because you know what? Try to drive a nail in one of those old pieces of lumber. So you try to use a nail gun, it'll curl your nail. So apparently she had a plumber come out here about a couple weeks ago, and he said everything was fine except for what I'm about to show you guys here in a minute. But you can see that is leaking, and it smells like drain, sewer, funk. I even saw some sewer flies, drain flies flying around. Not a lot, but enough. But you can see all this plumbing. This has all been fixed on and off for years. A lot of Mickey Mouse stuff. But this is, you can see some repairs they did upstairs. So they obviously had some leaks. This is right here. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, forgive the spider webs, man. The spider webs were so bad down there. It was actually crazy bad. This was a leak she must have had at one point, and the plumber just didn't even bring this up. I mean, that is a nice repair job you can try to get if that's the business you're in, or a friend. But if you're not into doing this kind of work, that is all water stains, mold, fungus. Jimmy Hoffa's body is probably in there somewhere. That is absolutely nasty, nasty stuff, man. So nasty. The well's dry. It hasn't rained in a long time. So that's a nice Liberty pump in there. Check valve. They did a good job with that sump pump. I'm not sure what it's doing. If it's clogged, what's the story with that? But hasn't rained, so I can't judge. Um, this rot is absolutely horrible. This house fails inspection. That entire foundation joist would have to be repaired, replaced. These joists, everything would have to be replaced. I need to get a plumber out here. Plumber's got to check all this out. This doesn't look good at all. Um, I feel bad. These are elderly folks. They're about ready to get into a home, and they're gonna have to sell the house. They're gonna take a loss. But what are you gonna do? That's why you got trust people. She's had a plumber. They've were recommended by the neighborhood hardware shop. Came out here, told her everything was fine. Unbelievable. The amount of work that you got to do there, and the crazy thing about doing all that work to those joists there, look at these spider webs. The crazy is you've got all that plumbing in your way, which probably all needs to be replumbed anyway. I mean, I'm at this point the old copper. So this is the back of the house, the back foundation wall. They added on to that. They added a huge room to the back side. So there's another little room beyond that point. So the AC is outside, thank God, or it would have been destroyed by mold and fungus and you name it. But those were the trunk lines that came in. So, if there was a crawl space I would want to have, besides obviously doing all extra work to it, like encapsulating it, I would want the unit outside. Just have my trunk lines come in, seal it up really, really, really good. But this is the back of the house foundation. This is the add-on. That was a slab in there, and that's all an add-on. So that's another place where ventilation cannot come in through. So you get some ventilation in that room in there, which I went in, and there was really nothing to see. There's just a bunch of joists over a slab. They had added. It was actually a nice sized room. But no airflow is coming in through there. So this crawl space has zero airflow, almost zero airflow. So any humidity coming from there, look at that ductwork right there, just resting on the clay. Not good, man. That's not good. Now, I feel bad, but what do you got to do? You trust these HVAC people, plumbers, electricians, all kinds of trades. That is all fungus. All that white stuff you see, the black and white, the yellow stuff, that is all a wood destroying fungi. That is not good. No way. They got a 2x8 holding up something, resting right into the dirt. That's got to get pulled out of there. That's a termite hazard. Plus the bottom of it's rotting now. So what is it doing? See the duct lines down here, man? So they have, for years, they've had contractors come down here, and nobody ever mentions this to anybody. That's the problem we're having in the industry today. You're not being a salesman by not bringing things up, okay? The whole salesman thing's got to go. You're selling a product, you're selling a job. If you know your product and you know your job, okay, you're not selling it. Just tell the customer what you see, or the homeowner, whatever, and just say, hey, look, we're in the business of fixing this. Are you interested? This is the cost. You're not selling it, and explain to them in detail exactly what you're going to do, and do it. But people aren't doing it. They just rather crawl by, not mention anything. There's fungus on all these wood beams. All that white stuff on those trunk lines, look at that. No airflow comes into the front portion. That's all what that probably drips water here in the next 2 months, about a month. You'll have all those pipes dripping water when that cold air starts hitting the humidity. All that condensation is just going to start dripping. It's nasty. You're smelling all this funk. I mean, I was wearing a mask in this one because I knew what I was getting into. I was afraid about those. If we had some black mold spores, I'm not getting into that. That stuff gives me a migraine headache in a matter of seconds. I did mold remediation in Florida for a little while, and that was very, very temporary. The job really sucked. So this portion of the house looks decent. Still some fungus. There's your entry points, but she got rid of all the insulation. I can't imagine what this would look like with all the insulation. And this, especially out here in the woods. Yeah, forget about it. Squirrels come in, chipmunks. Look, you got, oh my God. Man, people just put everything together. Just look at all the spider webs. I can barely see anything. Look, everybody just put little pieces together year after year. Just those are a bunch of blocks completely on a 45-degree angle, holding a pipe up. Anyway, crawl space encounters. Check out my other video. They are super awesome. God bless you. Take care. All right. Very small crawl space with a lot of problems. My God. Did you see that mold down there? Apparently they had a leak. Still have a leak. There's fungus, mildew. God, if you're an expert in teaching classes on funguses and molds and all different kinds of parasites, you need to come to this house. Have a class. This is horrible. God, it's an old house too. But these problems have been going on for quite some time. No bueno. Well, it's never fun to break the news, but if I gotta crawl this place like this, you're gonna hear about it. So, thank you guys for watching the channel. Stay tuned. I got a lot of videos out there. I post a lot of videos, but check me out. I don't give you too much of a grand tour, but I give you a kind of an idea of what these crawl spaces are dealing with. I do have to go back in there and kind of figure some things out, but this is all about crawl space awareness. If you can own a house with a crawl space, take care of it. Before it looks like this guy over here. Not good. Not good at all. I feel bad. But it's my job to report what I see. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. God bless you. Take care.